Alright, so yes, I have colored my hair and I'm happy with the results, even though it's not the color's fault. Like a couple of places here jahan pe it was not that blonde enough, so of course it will not be a really brighter color. There it's very light, this side it's still good, नीचे भी ठीक ठाक है. So it is something like a matte blue color. I don't know if it's matte blue, teal blue, जो भी है. So it said matte blue on the box and I'm very happy with the results. If you want to buy this, I'll post the link of this color in the description below. You can buy it from there. Do not use this color without bleaching blonde, using a blonder first, otherwise it will not show. So yeah, I just did like a bleach bath for my hair before I put the color, because I already had bleached it last time, if you remember the disastrous result of that stupid hair color. So today I have got something for the parents. So if you are a parent to a teenage daughter or son, you should watch this video. If you have a cousin who's a teenager, if you have a younger sister or brother who's a teenager, still you can watch the video. I'm sure this will be helpful.
5 in the morning, 5 in the morning, I'm all out of breath. Don't make me forget it, don't make me forget all the reasons I gave, stuck in your bed.
Hello everyone, this is Calliope, and today I'm going to give you a few tips about how to talk about dating and relationships to teenagers. Alright, so without wasting any time, let's begin this video. So yes, I'm sure as your kids enter the teens, it is always a difficult task to accept it, right? Your little girl or your little son has finally grown up and he or she seems a little different because nowadays especially, they grow up so quickly. By the way, don't look at my nails. This is the residue of the color. I had put gloves and still it was such a strong color. In fact, abhi fir bhi lighten hua hai. This was like full dark ekdam. Even yahan pe lag gaya tha. So yeah, coming back to the topic. So you finally are realizing that oh my god, just let me live in peace. Why so much noise? Okay, so finally you realize that your child is not a child anymore. He or she has grown up. There are these suddenly mood swings and hormones raging, and suddenly your child has crushes. Not just on film stars and sports persons. It is also crush at the tuition classes, or crush at the coaching classes, or their own class in school, and or the study group or the hobbies group or whatever. And most of them are very aware, most of them are very vocal about their feelings, and you don't know what to do. How do you handle this transition? So first thing what I would advise is accept the fact that your child has now grown up. Okay, he is growing up. I won't say grown up, but he or she is growing up, and yes, he or she is a teenager and they are going to have these crushes, these feelings, so many questions about a lot of things, and you have to be ready to answer them. Okay, you can't be like, no, you're still a baby, you can't have feelings, don't do that. I'm sure people of my age have gone through it. I'm sure even now there are parents who are like conservative and they think nahi abhi to bachchi hai, ye sab nahi karna chahiye. It's not about nahi karna chahiye, it's about the fact that this is very natural, okay, to have feelings, to have all these crushes, because they are growing up and they are not a child anymore. So if you have a child like someone like me, I had my first crush in 2nd grade. thank your stars that they are having crushes in teenage and not as early as first or second grade. Alright, so yeah, so accepting is the first key to understand things about what your teenager might be feeling. Another thing is, I would say that from being this parent, I feel that the first initial years you should be a little strict. I'm not saying strict as in marna chahiye and nahi aise hi hona chahiye, but setting a few timetable deadlines and setting a few like disciplinary things about like timetable and stuff like that, it's fine. Okay, it's not bad, because that's the age, before the teenage, it's that age where you have to teach your kids the right things. Okay, that is when you have to tell the kid this is right, this is wrong. Of course your kid will have his or her own mind, and they'll of course ask you things, but you have to have to be a little bit strict. I feel sometimes these kids will just do things in excess, like having a lot of chocolates and not eating food properly, all the things, vegetables and salads which is supposed to be eaten. Now when it comes to teenage, it's important to become a friend to your child. It's important to become a friend to your child. Okay, so I'll tell you why. Because if you don't become friends with your teenage kid, he or she is going to look for answers either on the internet, either to older peers, or to even friends from their circle, from their school or surroundings, wherever. So it's very important that your child feels comfortable coming and talking to you about whatever they have to, whatever is going on in their mind. Okay, even if it's just a crush they want to tell you about, like, hey mom or dad, I like this guy, he's so cute, his smile makes me go weak in the knees. And you're not supposed to be like, hey, just shut up, okay? One rappa I'll give you. Gappa vastigre. You're supposed to only study right now. That's wrong. Okay, because you are shutting the child's feelings, and that is wrong. Then next time he or she will never come and tell you about it. It's very natural to have crushes. It's very natural to have these feelings, it's the hormones. So it is very important, you become the child's friend, so that he or she can just come and talk about anything that they that they want. And it's not just about crushes, it's not just about that. There's so many things that kids in their teenage will have questions about, like sex. So you're supposed to give sex education before they even become a teenager, because kids these days mature early, and I hope that schools these days are also giving sex education compulsorily and hopefully early, because of it's also important to talk about good touch, bad touch, even to kids. Like it's very important. Okay, so next thing is you need to have the talk, as in you need to just assure your kid that, see, we are going to have this healthy bond from now on, all three of us. If you have an only child, or we are mom, dad, we are going to talk about everything. You can come and tell us whatever you have to, and you have to promise to not be judgmental. Okay, when your kids come and ask you questions, when they ask you questions, please be very direct and not ghuma fira ke say things. Okay, yes, even if they have questions about sex. The next thing I would like to talk about is please explain to your kids about the fact that loving themselves is most important. Because what happens is, when you're a teenager, you are sometimes very much infatuated with someone. So at times, I remember, I know, most of them, some of my friends also, I know that, we wanted to say no to something, and we have just not said. We didn't have the courage to say it, or we're just like fine with it. So it is important to explain to your child that listen, you're very young right now, okay? It's possible that you like a lot of you might have a lot of crushes, you might get infatuated with a lot of people, and you might even like someone a lot to start dating that person. But what is important first is that you love yourself first, okay? And even if it's a teenage relationship, even it's, to take things slowly, that's what it should be, to take things casually initially, but also respect yourself in that relationship, or whatever dynamics, of casual dating also, and make sure that there is respect in the relationship. Healthy partnership means equality, okay? When you're a teenager, it's very easy for people to manipulate you. It's very easy for people to, there's always this, you're not at that age where you can take decisions. You're very much likely to sometimes take bad decisions also. So you can get into bad company and all those things happen. So it's very important that you tell your child that, see, for example, doing drugs is not right. Do not get into a relationship with someone who's doing drugs. Do not get into a relationship where someone is smoking, or don't date someone who's extremely older, because that's just not right, okay? Date people your age, that is fine. Then also have the talk about abuse, okay? It's because it's very, very much possible that someone might just fake emotions and try to get into a relationship, or get into a relationship with a teenager just for the pleasure of dating someone younger, and might abuse them. Talk about that. It's not right to get abused, whether physically, mentally. Do not get into dating someone because they are either pressurizing you, because they are stalking you. In the age of social media, very easy for people to harass, especially teenagers online, okay? Whether they are on Instagram, Facebook, just talk about not getting pressured because someone is forcing them to get into, to date them, or threatening them in any way. Talk about that also in detail, okay? Physical abuse, emotional abuse, stalking, sexual abuse as well. Also financial abuse, if someone is trying to get them to pay some money, if they are threatening them to, if they've taken some photographs of them, or in any way, trying to control them in any way and trying to get money. So make sure that they don't fall for that, and if something like that happens, hopefully they should come and tell you those things, okay? That kind of trust should be there in the parent-kid relationship. And any form of harassment, any form of control behavior is not right thing for any relationship, not just teenage relationship, but of course, because teenagers are not fully mature, it's very easy for them to believe that maybe this person loves me, so it's okay, or they'll try to change them. We are stupid when we are teenagers. So please explain to your kids that, see, any form of such harassment, like trying to control their lives, trying to tell them how to dress, trying to tell them, ask them, or monitoring that where they are going, and all that is very much control behavior, like stalkerish. Do not fall for such people. Do not associate with such people, okay, in dating life or even friendship or otherwise also. Next thing is to talk about love. Teenage में होता है कि हम लोग infatuation को प्यार समझ बैठे हैं. So teenage में होता क्या है ना, we are stupid, so we'll be like हाँ कोई भी एक नज़र में पसंद आ गया, and we'll be like infatuated. So we have to explain to our kids about what is true love, what is infatuation, and what is crushes, and just lust also. So please explain, distinguish between these things to your kids. That attraction, also explain that attraction, desire is very much physiological, it's physical, and emotions are separate. Okay, infatuation is not love. Just getting obsessed with someone, getting those butterflies and all that is infatuation, not love. Okay, love can take time to grow. पहली नज़र में प्यार, I'm not sure, होता है शायद. But usually, yeah, infatuation, crushes will, it will fade away. So try to explain that to your kid. Coming to the topic of sex, yes, please talk about it like you're talking to an adult. Okay, don't say ki. I'm sure you won't say this. लेकिन भगवान ऊपर से फेंकता है बच्चा. That's what kids are usually told when you're really small. Like, of course, every kid, I'm sure I have also asked, Mama, bachcha kahan se aata hai? But yeah, of course, we were never I don't think so. My parents never had the talk with me. I got sex education that too very much late, okay, in school. So that is super wrong. Okay, parents need to be open about this topic. I don't know kya hai. Like why are people so conservative still about this topic? I hope they are not now. Hopefully parents are sudrofying. So yeah, please give them proper sex education. If you can't, then at least take them to a counselor, who can explain it in a more detailed manner. Do discuss about protection. Do discuss about not having underage sex, hopefully. You can also take your daughter, especially if to a gynecologist if she has any questions regarding sex, and they can also explain about why it's not safe for teenagers to have sex before they are developed physically. Okay, so you can have health problems in the future, including, they say, risk of cervical cancer. Also talk about, you should have sex when you're ready. Just try to tell them that it's better to wait, to be ready, not just physically but emotionally, to have sex with your partner. And do not have sex if you're not ready. Don't get pressurized by someone, anyone, your partner, or especially if at least in India it's an offense to have sex with a minor. Okay, especially if someone is older. Okay, so someone who's 18 and above, if he has sex with a teenager, minor, he can go to jail. So that is why it's important to keep communicating with your teenage kids, because it's important to know whom they are dating. Hopefully they are not falling for someone who's older, way older, in their teens. That's just not right. That's just not healthy. And you never know. So that is why I say, because otherwise they'll start hiding and doing things which is just not right. Okay, talk about contraceptions also, just in case. Like, if I was a parent, I would be like, better to do it in the bedroom rather than going out, because some of these sleazy hotels, not sleazy, but these shacks and all are there, or these small hotels. What if there's a raid by the police, and it will be all the circus will happen. So I would rather feel it's much more safe that my kids are near me, like in the house and doing it at some strange place. What if there is a recording which happens? I mean, you never know. So it's better to have a friendly relation with your kids than, them hiding and doing things. That's just my opinion, but whatever. Very important to tell your child to not have sex if they are not ready. And there are times when even teenage partners use this line, if you love me, you'll have sex with me. That's just an emotional blackmailing thing, or I don't know, whatever it is. Sometimes teenagers tend to equate both love and sex, especially women. I feel we even do that now. But as a teenager, you might be like, oh, what if I don't have sex, and what if that partner leaves me? Or, yes, I do love him, I should do it. Or I do love her, so I should do it. Or what if he or she leaves me because I refuse to have sex? You have to explain to your child that do not do something if you're not ready. Don't let anyone push you to take that decision. Even if you really like this person, that doesn't mean you have to give in to the pressure. If you feel that just doing this will keep the partner with you, he or she might leave you otherwise, let them go. Because not respecting a partner's feelings in a relationship is totally wrong. I mean, it might happen that you might do it and then you might totally regret it because you are not ready. So if that person wants to go, just let them go. So explain this to your daughter. Explain this to your son. Okay? And yeah, if I'm not generalizing, but also explain to your son, if he's the one doing this, that is totally wrong. I think that's why it's not just important to have these conversations with just daughters but also sons, because it's important to teach them that equality is important in relationships. Respect each other, okay? Respect each other's feelings. Do not think that you are superior just because you're a male species. Don't force your partner to do anything which he or she doesn't want to do. Lastly, yes, like just to elaborate on the fact that, okay, fine, your teenage kid has decided to have sex. Please talk about contraception, protection, condoms, STDs. Take them to a gynecologist, family doctor, jo bhi agar, if you want them to have the talk in a more detailed manner. Do not hesitate to do so. Next thing is, even though you are friendly, that doesn't mean you can't keep a little bit of boundaries, and little bit of disciplining is still fine. Still, you can set some curfews of the timing. You should know with whom he or she is going. You should know about their friends and where they are going, etc. Hopefully they are not doing drugs and all those things. That is a complete no-no. I do not encourage it. I would not even recommend smoking and stuff like that. Okay, maybe they might try it. Even I have, so it's okay, but definitely teach them that it's not the right thing to do, health-wise also. When you're talking and having these discussions, make sure that your kid is also having something to say. He's giving inputs or she's giving inputs, and they are talking about their opinion too. It should not be like you're lecturing your kid. Okay? Lastly, I would say that just make sure that your kid knows that you're there for them in whatever decisions they take. Okay? Even if they decide to date someone, even if they decide to have sex, even if they need to go to a gynecologist, even if they need to talk about birth control or require any kind of assistance in that, whatever it is, just make sure that your kid knows that he or she can come and talk to you about it. All right? That they can, anything, they can just talk about anything. Even, I would also say that even if even if they want to talk about usually sometimes, a lot of times, teenagers come out. If your child is gay or lesbian, then they might come to know that during their teens sometimes, and they want to talk about it. you should even talk about that. You know, it's fine, you can come and talk to me, I love you no matter what. That's also very important. And just slide it like casually, don't make them feel awkward, because at times they want to come out when they are ready, and you should not force them to say it, but it's okay. Just make sure that you have a healthy environment to talk about these things as well. Lastly, I would say is, do not be judgmental. Okay, you also have been a teenager, you also have made mistakes, you also, in fact, maybe a lot of us did not have parents, or our parents did not have parents who were pretty chilled out. They were probably very strict, and I'm sure, you know, a few years back, decades back, you could not maybe talk very openly about even dating someone or all these crushes and all very openly with your parents. But that doesn't mean that it should continue like that even now in today's times. It's stupid if you are still following that kind of mindset. So don't be judgmental, okay? Giving your opinion is fine, but don't be like, hey, you know, I told you so, or don't be too interfering in your child's life. Okay, that's also not right, I would say. And well, just keep a healthy and open relationship where your child can just communicate about anything and everything, and let them take their decisions. Have faith in them. That's it. Okay, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please comment below and let me know what do you think about my hair. And what do you think about this video as well. And please share this video with your friends, especially if they have teenage kids, whatever, your cousins or your parents. Maybe you have teenage brothers and sisters, you'll be it. So do it, share my videos, please subscribe if you're liking my channel, my videos. Thank you to all my subscribers for subscribing, sticking around. If you want to check out my last video, it's somewhere here. Until next time, it's bye from me. Take care.
Make me forget all the reasons I gave. Stuck in your bed, high as the ceiling. Love how you taste.